A very good evening. You're watching Primetime News live from the Newsfirst studios. I'm Madhushka Balasurya.
And I'm Nicola Dizoiza. We start off with tonight's headlines.
President presents 5,000 new Ranbima land deeds. A challenge to Minister Nimal Siripala De Silva from the JVP.
උමාවේ අපේ පළාතට අපේ දිස්ත්‍රික්කයට හානියක් එන්න ප්‍රසිද්ධ විවාදයකට මාත් සමග.
Proposal to introduce a regulated system for removing low-income housing under prevailing laws defeated at the Western Provincial Council. Department of Irrigation lodges complaint with the police over timber racket in Ampara. Action TV investigates.
In your top story tonight, an event was held in Colombo today to donate another 5,000 Ranbima land deeds under the auspices of President Mahinda Rajapaksa. Addressing the event, President Rajapaksa stated that the programs being implemented by the government for social welfare will never falter.
The event, which was held at the Sugardasa Stadium in Colombo, marked the 13th phase of the program to donate land deeds. The Presidential Media Unit noted that the Land Reforms Commission has distributed over 50,000 deeds over the past 7 years. A total of 500,000 deeds have been distributed in total by all governmental organizations. We bathed from rivers and from our wells and we didn't pay anyone. But now there are taps, and when you turn it on, there is water. You get to bathe using showers. At the end of the month, you do get a bill. It is the same with electricity. We are not here to serve just one class. We must work for the betterment of the entire nation. Just like the construction of roads from the north to the south and from east to the west. Our next step will be to lay down pipelines to provide clean water to the entire nation. They will scold us and find fault in these attempts taken by us as well. But we will still move forward. I am accustomed to being berated now.
According
to international media reports, President Mahinda Rajapaksa has stated that Sri Lanka will deny visas to UN investigators probing accusations of war crimes. The President had expressed these views to the Foreign Correspondents Association today.
According to Reuters, President Mahinda Rajapaksa has stated, quote, "We will not allow them into the country," unquote, and added that any cases of missing persons or allegations of misdeeds will be investigated through the local panel. Responding to outgoing UN Human Rights Chief Navi Pillai's statement that the UN probe could still go ahead without travelling to Sri Lanka, the President had stated that no one other than the people who want the investigation would take it seriously. Meanwhile, Al Jazeera reports that the President has stated that although Sri Lanka is against the probe, they are ready to fully cooperate and engage with other UN agencies. Meanwhile, 2 more members were appointed to the Presidential Commission investigating cases of missing persons in Sri Lanka. The 2 members are Professor Avdash Kaushal, an Indian human rights activist, and Pakistani national Ahmad Bilal Sufi, a former caretaker federal law minister in Pakistan and an international law expert.
Moving into other local news, JVP group leader in the Uva province, Samantha Vidyaratna, has extended an open challenge to Minister Nimal Siripala De Silva to face him in a public debate. He made this statement yesterday while meeting with people who will lose their lands to the Uma Oya scheme.
I challenged Nimal Siripala De Silva to face me in a public debate regarding the harm that the Uma Oya project is causing to our area. Water from this project is being taken to the south. In spite of their lies, the water is being taken for the Hambantota airport and harbour. I shall prove the loss that is being incurred here, the harm that is being caused, the destruction that is being wrought on the people. I will highlight the problems that will be faced in the future.
Up next is our special segment, The Battle for Uva.
You can see that there is major development taking place in the country. There is a problem. The cost of living is high. In truth, the cost of living is high. The International Monetary Fund says today that it is a wonder that poverty in Sri Lanka has been reduced to 4%.
How can this be the wonder of Asia? It is one of the 5 poorest countries in Asia. It is one of the 30 failed states in the world. If you are living in a country while being indebted to the world, it is not development. You and 5 generations to come are in debt to the world.
It is true that poverty and hunger must be reiterated. You do not need to make yourself hoarse over it. Poverty was prevalent even during the time of the UMP. That is why we have established the mobile service to go to the villages and look into poverty and hunger and the wants and needs of the people.
So far, the norm has been that the voter is defeated while the person who gets the vote is victorious. The persons who get the vote are victorious while the voting public is defeated.
My friends, they are trying to raise a non-existent view in this country. As long as the roads are being built and you receive water, food and increased wages, you are okay.
They say the ordinary people do not need anything because they are poor and they will not understand. The man comes to the people and asks them to take what is given. That is the situation.
Meanwhile, tensions flared at the monthly meeting of the Bope Podala Pradeshia Sabha today. A tense situation arose following protests by two members of the Pradeshia Sabha.
Ruling party member of the Bope Podala Pradeshia Sabha, Premalala Besekara, and the opposition leader of the council, Mohammad Rishad, expressed their protest in this fashion. The two members climbed onto the table at the center of the council meeting and demanded that unauthorized constructions at the Labudu market complex be removed and that the 3-year-long water shortage in the Araliyabath area be resolved. The two members remained on top of the council table until the meeting was adjourned.
If you're just tuning in, you're watching Newsfirst Primetime News, and up next is Action TV.
In a backdrop where the law is not being implemented against a backdrop of persons who illegally felled and bundled a kumbuk tree within the Olam the Alla Forest Reserve in Kotavehera, Ampara, the Zonal Irrigation Engineer's Office of Ampara filed a complaint with the police yesterday. The Ampara office of the State Timber Corporation knows that the value of a haul of kumbuk wood seized by them in the Kotavehera division on Friday has been estimated at 700,000 rupees. The raid was carried out under the instructions of the Ampara District Wildlife Office. When the raids unit of the State Timber Corporation seized the timber on Tuesday, it was revealed that one of the two individuals who were bundling the timber was in fact an individual from Iniagala who was out on bail and has been linked to a number of timber racketing charges. It was also discovered that two officials attached to the Divisional Secretariat of Ampara were steering the task of bundling the timber. On Saturday, Action TV highlighted the fact that the Ampara Divisional Secretary had informed the Grama Seva officer of Kotavehera in writing to assist a group of officials from the Divisional Secretariat. While some of the contents of this letter are false, the most serious factor here is that the Ampara Divisional Secretary has attempted to mislead the Grama Seva officer by noting that copies of the letter have been addressed to the State Timber Corporation, the Ampara District Forest Officer and the Superintendent of Police in Ampara. However, it was on Friday when Action TV made inquiries that the Ampara District Forest Officer and the State Timber Corporation came to know of the fact that there was a letter being issued in this manner. Although the State Timber Corporation took over custody of the stock of timber in question from the Ampara District Forest Office, keeping the office in the loop of the development in a new twist, the Ampara Zonal Irrigation Engineer's Office has challenged this process. The Irrigation Engineer's Office says that as the kumbuk tree in question was located at a waterway within the reserve, the timber comes under their purview.
I was not informed of this, nor was I consulted for permission in this regard. After this report was highlighted by the Sirasa media, a group of officials from the Zonal Irrigation Engineer's Office visited the location and investigated the matter. They witnessed that one tree was felled and that another 4 trees had been harmed by setting them on fire. After the investigation, steps were taken to file a complaint with the police.
පරීක්ෂා කිරීමෙන් අනතුරු මේ පිළිබඳව පොලිසියේ පැමිණිල්ලක් යොදන්න කටයුතු කරලා තියෙනවා.
However, in his letter written on Wednesday, the 17th of August, Ampara Divisional Secretary informs the State Timber Corporation that the kumbuk tree in question had fallen onto the farmland of 1 HG Ananda Galapati residing at number 3/A/93 in the Kotavera Grama Seva division and that it has been removed. However, the brother of this individual had this to say.
සහෝදරයා ඉන්න මෙහෙම මේ කොළඹ පළාතේ සහෝදරයා වෙනුවෙන් ඒ ඉඩම බලා කියාගන්නේ නම් අපි තමයි.
My brother does not live here. He is in Colombo. We are the caretakers of this land in question. We did not inform any of the state institutions to remove this tree in question. However, when I went to bathe recently, I noticed a large number of vehicles in the area. When I took a closer look, I noticed that the tree had been felled and bundled. The pickup of the divisional secretariat was there. I did not recognize them. The only person I knew there was the forest officer.
දන්න කියන මිනිස්සෙකුට හිටියා මෙතන පොස්ට් එකේ හිටපු නිලධාරී.
And here's what else is coming up on the news tonight.
Coming up on the news tonight, US police have fired tear gas and stun grenades at protesters in Ferguson, Missouri. Pakistan's opposition leader Imran Khan vows to lead anti-government demonstrations into the capital's heavily armed red zone. Details of these stories coming up on the Newsfirst International Desk.